I was always a singer. It was in me. I call myself a bird. I'm a bird. I'm always singing. I would sing anywhere, any chance I could, shows, bars.
It happened 1 minute ago. That's all it took for the country music world to stop, refresh, and realize something seismic had just shifted. A single post, a single voice, and suddenly, the headlines everywhere began lighting up with one name: Carrie Underwood. For 2 decades, she's been the golden voice of country music, a symbol of faith, resilience, and raw talent. From the moment she won American Idol in 2005, Carrie wasn't just a singer. She became a story, a symbol of small-town hope turning into global triumph. But tonight, that story takes a dramatic new turn. What Carrie Underwood revealed just moments ago has sent ripples across the entire entertainment industry, leaving fans and critics alike speechless. Because this time, it isn't just about another record. It isn't about fame, fortune, or even nostalgia. This time, it's about legacy, about the woman behind the voice stepping into a new era, one that may redefine what it means to be an icon in the 21st century. As news spreads across social media, timelines fill with disbelief. "Did she really just announce that?" one fan tweets. "I've been following her for 20 years and never seen her do this," another replies. But before we get to the breaking headline that stunned the world, we have to rewind to understand how we got here and why this moment matters so deeply. 2 decades ago, Carrie Marie Underwood was just another dreamer from Chakotah, Oklahoma, a town so small most maps barely noticed it. Yet it was there, amid wide skies and dusty roads, that a voice was born. When she auditioned for American Idol in 2005, her performance of Bonnie Raitt's "I Can't Make You Love Me" silenced the judges. Simon Cowell, never one to flatter easily, said, "You're not just good, you could win this thing." And she did. What followed was an explosion. Her debut album Some Hearts became the fastest-selling debut in country music history, certified 8 times platinum. But the song that changed everything, the song that changed her, was Jesus, Take the Wheel.
Lay down with me, tell me no lies, just hold me close, don't patronize, don't patronize me.
Released in late 2005, the ballad wasn't just a hit, it became a national anthem of surrender and salvation. Faith-driven, emotional, pure, it turned Carrie from contestant to cultural phenomenon. It won her Grammy Awards, broke radio records, and opened doors no other Idol alum had walked through before. Now, as of October 2025, that very song turns 20 years old. On Instagram, Carrie posted a heartfelt tribute. "This song changed my life and has meant so much to me over the years. I'm truly blessed to still sing it today." The post went viral, not just because of nostalgia, but because fans felt something deeper. 20 years later, the song still saves lives, comforts souls, and reminds millions of the power of faith. For Carrie, this milestone wasn't just a reflection, it was a mirror, showing her how far she'd come and how far she still wanted to go. In the years that followed, Carrie Underwood built an empire: 8 Grammy Awards, over 70 million records sold, sold-out tours on every continent, songs like Before He Cheats, Blown Away, Cowboy Casanova, and Something in the Water became instant classics, each one showcasing her powerhouse voice and emotional storytelling. Yet through it all, she never lost sight of where she came from. "Oklahoma will always be home," she told a Nashville reporter. "It's where I learned to dream small before I dreamed big." Her connection to her roots shaped not just her music, but her character. She remained grounded, a wife, a mother, a believer, in a world that often consumes its stars. Her marriage to NHL star Mike Fisher became one of country music's most stable love stories, and their 2 sons, Isaiah and Jacob, became the heart behind every lyric she sang about family and faith. But fame has a rhythm, and even legends need reinvention. In 2025, fans noticed something different. Carrie appeared at the Grand Ole Opry Centennial Celebration, Opry 100, with a new look. Gone was the bright platinum blonde hair that had defined her image for years. In its place was a soft, natural brown, close to her childhood color. It wasn't just a cosmetic change, it was symbolic. "I thought it was time to give my natural self another chance," she wrote beneath a mirror selfie that quickly racked up 1 million likes. Comment sections filled with support. "You look happy. You look free. You look like Carrie again." She also returned to American Idol, not as a contestant, but as a judge. Sitting beside Luke Bryan and Lionel Richie, Carrie now mentored the next generation of dreamers. Her insight was often emotional, often spiritual. "You don't just sing," she told one contestant, "you feel." And that's what people will remember to see her, 20 years later, in the very chair that started it all, guiding others, felt poetic. It was as if a full circle had been drawn in the sky. And for fans who had grown up with her music, it felt personal, almost intimate. Then, just as the nostalgia peaked, Carrie did what no one expected. At 6:01 p.m. Nashville time, a notification popped up. "Carrie Underwood is live." Millions tuned in. The screen flickered. Carrie appeared in a soft denim jacket, seated in her Nashville home studio, smiling. "Hey guys," she began, "it's been 20 years since you took a chance on me, since we started this crazy journey together, and I wanted to do something special to say thank you." She paused, looked off camera briefly, then smiled wider. "So tonight, I'm announcing something brand new, something from the heart." The live stream cut to a title card, "Roots and Wings." The comment section exploded. "New album? World tour? What does this mean?" Carrie laughed as the flood of emojis scrolled by. "Roots and Wings is my new album," she said. "It's about where we come from and where we're going. It's the most personal music I've ever made," she continued, voice calm but filled with joy. "And I'm taking it on the road next year, a world tour starting in April 2026. But more importantly, I'm launching the Underwood Legacy Foundation to support kids in small towns who dream of making music but don't have the resources." Because that was me once. Within minutes, the clip went viral. Hashtags like #RootsandWings, #Carrie2026, and #Underwood flooded Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Fans shared tears, cheers, and flashbacks of old concerts. One tweet captured the mood. "It feels like Carrie just gave country music back its soul." Behind the scenes, insiders revealed more details. The album, co-produced by Mark Bright and David Garcia, fuses old Nashville twang with lush pop orchestration. Think storytelling ballads, fiddle runs, gospel choirs, and Carrie's unmistakable belt at the center of it all. Song titles leaked almost instantly: "Home to Heaven," "Oklahoma Rain," "Two Crosses," "Runaway Faith." Early reports suggest the record blends traditional instrumentation with cinematic production, a sonic reflection of both her beginnings and her evolution. For Carrie, Roots and Wings isn't just a project, it's a manifesto. "My roots remind me who I am," she said in a follow-up interview. "My wings remind me who I can still become." The tour promises to be her largest yet. From Nashville to New York, London to Sydney, Tokyo to Toronto, she's taking her message global. Stage designers describe immersive visuals that evolve from rural fields to starry skies, a metaphor for her own journey from hometown girl to global icon. But what has the industry buzzing most is the Underwood Legacy Foundation. 10% of tour proceeds will fund scholarships for rural students studying music. There will be mentorship programs, instrument drives, and recording studio grants. Carrie herself will visit select schools along the tour to meet young musicians. "She's not just giving money," says one Nashville producer. "She's giving them access." She's saying, "You belong here." News outlets erupted. Billboard called it a masterclass in legacy building. Rolling Stone described it as an evolution of both sound and soul. Country radio hosts couldn't stop replaying clips of her announcement. Within an hour, streaming platforms crashed under the demand for her older catalog. Jesus Take the Wheel, and Before He Cheats, climbed iTunes again, as if the world collectively wanted to revisit where it all began. Fans posted emotional tributes. One wrote, "She was the soundtrack to my teenage years. Now she's the voice guiding me as an adult." Another said, "Carrie isn't chasing trends. She's creating timeless moments." Even fellow artists chimed in. Kelsey Ballerini posted a heart emoji. Reba McEntire tweeted, "Proud of you, girl. Keep those roots deep and wings wide." Luke Bryan commented simply, "Full circle." The story made global news. CNN, BBC, and The Guardian picked it up within hours. What began as a quiet live stream had become a cultural event, proof that in a world obsessed with noise, authenticity still wins hearts. Away from the spotlight, Carrie has always been deeply introspective. Those close to her describe a woman who still hums hymns before soundcheck, who brings her Bible on tour buses, who FaceTimes her sons every night before bed. Balancing fame with family has never been easy. "It's a dance," she once said. "Sometimes I'm mom in the morning, artist by afternoon, wife by night, and that's okay. That's life." Her husband, Mike Fisher, has been a steadfast partner through it all. After her announcement, he posted a simple message on Instagram, "So proud of you." The best is yet to come. The photos showed Carrie laughing backstage, barefoot, holding a guitar, looking happier than ever. Those who followed her career know this version of Carrie, stripped down, grounded, grateful, might be the most powerful one yet. Every generation gets a voice that defines its era. For country music, Carrie Underwood has been that voice. But the power of this new chapter isn't just musical, it's symbolic. At a time when fame often feels fleeting, Carrie's announcement reminds us of endurance, of staying true to your foundation while still daring to evolve. Roots and Wings captures that tension perfectly. It's both past and future, ground and sky, memory and possibility. And for fans who've grown up with her, it feels like a shared milestone. The teenager who once voted for her on American Idol is now a parent playing her songs for their kids. The cycle continues. The story grows. Industry analysts are already predicting staggering numbers. Early projections suggest the Roots and Wings tour could gross over $250 million worldwide, placing it among the biggest country tours ever. Major brands are reportedly vying to partner with her foundation, and country radio stations are preparing month-long Carrie retrospectives leading up to the album release. But beyond the metrics, the real story is emotional. Carrie isn't trying to chase relevance, she's defining legacy. And that may be the rarest move in modern music. In one of her final messages during the live stream, she said softly, "For 20 years, you've been my roots. Now, I hope to be your wings." That line, just 9 words, has already become a slogan. Fans are printing it on shirts, posters, tattoos. It's more than a lyric. It's a promise. As the night unfolds, headlines keep pouring in. Entertainment reporters analyze her strategy. Faith communities celebrate her message. Aspiring artists feel renewed hope. Because when Carrie Underwood speaks, it's not just noise, it's resonance. She represents something rare in modern entertainment, integrity that still shines. Her music, her message, her movement all flow from the same source: gratitude. "I've never forgotten what it felt like to be that small-town girl with a dream," she told fans. "And I never will." Maybe that's why this breaking headline feels different. It isn't scandal. It isn't shock. It's something gentler, purer. The sound of a woman standing at the height of her power, choosing to lift others up with her. 1 minute ago, Carrie Underwood broke the headlines. But perhaps the truth is, she's been breaking them her entire career. Not through controversy, but through consistency, heart, and honesty. As the night settles over Nashville, her words echo like a prayer. "My roots remind me who I am. My wings remind me who I can still become tomorrow. There will be more coverage, more interviews, more analysis. But tonight belongs to the fans, the millions who've walked this 20-year journey with her. From that first Idol audition to this breathtaking new chapter, Carrie Underwood remains what she's always been, a voice of grace, power, and purpose. And as the world refreshes its feed to read those words again, 1 minute ago, Carrie Underwood is breaking the headlines. It feels like more than a story. It feels like history being written in real time. And yet, even as the digital world lights up with applause, something deeper stirs beneath the surface of this breaking moment. Because while Roots and Wings may sound like the next step in a superstar's evolution for Carrie Underwood, it's something closer to a spiritual reckoning, a conversation between the woman she once was and the woman she's still becoming. Those close to her say this album was born during one of the quietest, most uncertain times of her life, in the solitude of her Tennessee farmhouse, where fame fades and faith speaks louder. After the pandemic years and the pressures of constant touring, Carrie had withdrawn slightly from the spotlight. Fans noticed fewer public appearances, fewer interviews. In one rare podcast conversation earlier this year, she admitted, "There was a time when I wondered what came next. I didn't want to just keep running. I wanted to feel again, to make music that mattered." It was during this pause that she began writing, not for radio, not for charts, but for herself. The first song she penned, Oklahoma Rain, came to her one stormy evening as she watched lightning dance across the fields behind her home. It was a reminder, she later said, that even the storms bring beauty. You just have to wait long enough to see it. From that night forward, Carrie dove deep into songwriting, returning to the roots of storytelling that shaped her earliest work. Gone were the layers of production and pressure for crossover hits. Instead, she sat with her guitar and poured out verses that spoke of time, change, motherhood, and belief. "It's funny," she mused during a fan Q&A. "After all these years, I realized I wasn't writing for the world anymore. I was writing for the girl who first stepped on that Idol stage, scared but ready. That honesty radiates through the music," say those who've heard the early cuts. Industry insiders describe the sound as stripped, soulful, almost cinematic, with echoes of early Dolly Parton and Shania Twain, but with that unmistakable Underwood fire. The song Two Crosses is reportedly one of her most vulnerable yet, a haunting reflection on faith and loss inspired by a close friend's passing. Another track, Home to Heaven, reportedly closes the album with a gospel choir recorded live in Nashville, blending traditional hymns with new verses Carrie wrote herself. "She's walking the line between old church music and new spiritual storytelling," one producer shared. "It's her at her most human and her most divine." But what's striking fans most isn't just the music, it's the message. Carrie isn't just performing, she's transforming. She's using her fame as a bridge, not a wall. Her decision to personally visit schools supported by her foundation has already inspired dozens of country stars to follow suit. Keith Urban called her approach the realest kind of influence. Even Taylor Swift, known for her own philanthropic efforts, reportedly texted Carrie after the announcement, congratulating her for turning the mic toward the next generation. Back in Nashville, local news captured footage of Carrie meeting with a small group of young songwriters at a community center just days after the announcement. No cameras, no red carpet, just a few guitars, notebooks, and the woman who started just like them. One student, in tears, said afterward, "She told me not to worry about being famous, just to be faithful. That's the best advice I've ever been given." Stories like that spread fast, adding new layers of admiration to an already beloved figure. And then there's the visual side of Roots and Wings. The music videos, still unreleased, are rumored to be shot in cinematic vignettes, each one representing a season of her life. The Oklahoma Rain video reportedly takes place on her childhood family farm, using real footage of her parents' barn and the dirt road she once drove down to school. Meanwhile, Runaway Faith was filmed in the deserts of Arizona, a symbolic landscape of wandering and redemption. Every frame feels like a prayer, a cinematographer said. You can tell this isn't just a project for her. It's a confession, a calling. As anticipation grows, Carrie's team has also teased a short documentary to accompany the album, Carrie, The Long Way Home. Early promotional clips show her revisiting the American Idol stage, standing in the empty studio where it all began. "This place changed my life," she says in one snippet, "but what I've learned since is that the journey never really ends. It just keeps unfolding." Fans are already calling the project the Miss Americana of country music, a raw, reflective look at an artist confronting the passage of time while staying true to her heart. In the middle of all this celebration, however, Carrie remains grounded. Neighbors in Franklin, Tennessee, describe seeing her jogging in the mornings, grocery shopping with her boys, or attending church quietly on Sundays. "You wouldn't know she's a superstar," one local said. "She's just Carrie, polite, humble, always smiling." That humility is what separates her from so many of her peers. She's never courted scandal or headlines for shock value. Her legacy has been built, one song and one soul at a time, on grace. And that's why this moment feels so monumental, because in an age where attention is currency, Carrie Underwood has earned hers through sincerity. She's proven that kindness, authenticity, and unwavering faith still have a place in the modern world. Her breaking headline wasn't a publicity stunt. It was a statement of purpose. It was a woman, at the height of her success, choosing to give back rather than take more. As midnight rolls over Nashville, the lights of Broadway glimmer like stars reflected in puddles. Somewhere through a studio window, Carrie's voice carries softly into the night, that unmistakable tone that has guided millions through heartbreak, hope, and healing. It's hard not to feel that the world is witnessing more than an announcement. It's a transformation. And maybe that's the real story tonight. Not just that Carrie Underwood is breaking the headlines, but that she's rewriting what a headline even means. Because in a culture that often glorifies chaos, she's offering calm. In a world that rewards noise, she's giving us melody. And in a time where so many chase wings without remembering their roots, she's reminding us that the two were always meant to grow together. So as fans across the globe refresh their screens one last time before bed, one message rings out through every timeline and every heart. Carrie Underwood isn't just back. She's become something more. A mirror of grace, a testament to endurance, a voice reminding us all that even after 20 years, the best stories are the ones still being written.